Welcome to another edition of SKNIS's Week in Review. I am your presenter, Mr. Tion Coggins. During this edition, we will recap everything government-related for the period October 15th to October 22nd, 2021. Stay tuned. The enhanced management and investment in the marine sector in St. Kitts and Nevis will strengthen food security in the Twin Island Federation and promote economic growth. The way forward for the fisheries sector is outlined in the St. Kitts and Nevis Agricultural Transformation and Growth Strategy 2022 to 2031. Launched at the end of September this year, Dr. Mark Williams, Director of Marine Resources, highlighted the key aspects of the plan that will lead to future growth.
In Dieppe Bay, an ice machine is earmarked for the area. In Sandy Point, an ice machine and cold storage facilities are being established. In Old Road, the breakwater has been completed for safe harbor of fishing vessels, and work has begun on the renovation of the Old Road Fisheries Complex building. In Basseterre, the renovation of the Fisher bathrooms is almost complete, and the arrangements are being made to re-establish a fuel station on the compound.
Agricultural transformation lies at the core of food security, improved nutrition, job creation, and economic growth. As such, the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis is embarking on a transformation and growth strategy 2022-2031 that will require an all-hands-on-deck approach for it to be successful, said Minister of Agriculture in the federal government, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, during his October 19th appearance on Leadership Matters, a virtual forum on ZIZ TV.
So to make this strategy work, there must be, first of all, a willingness to change, to accept new ideas, and to be pragmatic in our approach. We also have to adapt and implement all enabling policies, and most importantly, there must be strong and decisive leadership.
The $10 million stimulus package into the agriculture sector by the government of St. Kitts and Nevis last year is bearing fruit. On the Tuesday, October 19, 2021 edition of Leadership Matters, Acting Director of the Department of Agriculture, Dr. Tracy Challenger, highlighted improvements in agriculture production recorded this year. The added investment was made in response to the COVID-19 pandemic that has negatively impacted economies around the world. The pandemic has also created shipping delays for consumer goods that have resulted in disruptions to the global supply chains.
The data show that up to the end of the second quarter of 2021, there was an overall 63% increase in crop production compared to the same period in 2020. In the case of livestock, there has been a 24% increase up to the end of the third quarter compared to the same period in 2020.
Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, on Wednesday, October 20, convened the 2022 Budget Estimates Committee meetings at the Ministry of Finance conference room. During this annual exercise, which will help shape the 2022 budget for St. Kitts and Nevis, senior-level government officials, including permanent secretaries and heads of departments for the various line ministries, will present their plans for the upcoming financial year, account for their performance or lack thereof during the current year, and assure the federal cabinet that their policies, programs, and activities are being pursued with the diligence, care, in accordance with the law and best practices.
The growth, however, will only come if we mobilize effectively for it. And of course, the externalities are contained and they do not affect our trajectory in a negative way. The efficient and effective implementation then of our capital projects, the Basseterre High School, for example, the new correctional facility, our housing programs, infrastructure. Of course, all these are critical capital projects that would lead to more jobs, higher incomes for our people, and the transformation of some of the key sectors, social and economic sectors of the country.
The government of St. Kitts and Nevis has expended more than $8 million in direct payments to citizens and residents who qualified for assistance under the second stimulus package. This comes as Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, confirmed that the third tranche of payments under the Team Unity government's second comprehensive stimulus relief package was made to successful applicants this month. To encourage more home ownership, the Team Unity government has made arrangements for private individuals to develop lands to build residential properties. In this regard, private developers will soon be building homes in Keon, Tabernacle, and Sandy Point. This follows recent efforts of the St. Kitts and Nevis Anguilla Trading and Development Company, TDC, to build out Duart's housing project, and the St. Kitts Cooperative Credit Union is also slated to start a housing development. As the coronavirus continues to threaten health and upend daily life globally, necessary measures were implemented to curb the spread of the virus. One such measure was contact tracing of confirmed cases, a measure St. Kitts and Nevis contact tracing team performs exemplary on a daily basis. The team was highly commended by Joseph Markman, the head of the contact tracing team, during the October 20th edition of Working for You.
I also just want to reiterate to persons, don't be afraid of contact tracing. Don't be afraid to give the information, because that information is very important. And that information could help save a loved one of your friends, and it can also make sure that we keep the country as COVID-free as possible.
With the continuing disruption to global supply chains, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, has said that a determined effort is required for the nation's farmers and fishers to produce more of what is needed. Prime Minister Harris made those remarks on the Tuesday, October 19th edition of Leadership Matters, which focused primarily on improving the agriculture and fisheries sector in St. Kitts and Nevis.
We will see a consequential adverse movement in the price of items in the food basket, linked inter alia to increase in transportation costs as fuel prices trend upward, and costs of goods are likely to increase as a consequence of the supply chain disruptions and shortages due to climate change.
The overall management of the COVID-19 pandemic by the government of St. Kitts and Nevis via the National COVID-19 Task Force had led to opening up of our borders to inbound travelers with little impact of the spread of the virus locally. Mr. Abdias Salmon, chair of the National COVID-19 Task Force, indicated during the October 20, 2021 NEOC COVID-19 briefing that the federal cabinet has removed travel restrictions for persons from South Africa and India.
Effective Wednesday, 20th October 2021, the Federal Cabinet of St. Kitts and Nevis approved the recommendation of the National COVID-19 Task Force to have South Africa and India removed from the travel advisory. So, however, please note that Brazil remains on a travel advisory for St. Kitts and Nevis. So therefore, persons traveling from South Africa and India will no longer have any challenges entering St. Kitts and Nevis.
On Wednesday, October 20, 2021, the Department of Marine Resources, assisted by the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Coast Guard, conducted a global position and system training session with fisherfolk from across the Federation. The sessions covered both the theory and practical components of GPS training, allowing participants to gain a wealth of knowledge using this critical piece of technology.
So it's awareness, whereas we'll be introducing you to the Garmin GPS Map 78. Okay? Once you complete the training, then this GPS will be yours, as from what I was told, to use when at sea. The procedure in going through, in terms of signing it and all that, then the fisheries persons will be dealing with that. We will just give you awareness or sensitize you about the operation of the GPS. Okay, anybody is familiar with this type of GPS? Anybody have ever used them before? Anybody got any knowledge about using them? You? Good? Good enough? Okay, good enough. Anybody else? No?
I've seen them already, but I never used them.
You? Okay. So then we got somebody by almost each table. Somebody said they see them already by this table. Yeah, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna make it easy as to where we're gonna just go to the aspect of the manual. So we're going to do a theory practical session. So we're going to be doing everything together. Everybody good? Good? Listen, you good? Good. So we're going to see now. We don't need these right now because we're not going to load up nothing onto the system. So you could just call off and listen. So we're going to check and see if everybody put the batteries in correctly. I'm going to power up the unit now. Okay? So to power up the unit, I'm going to go. Okay, I just the labeling there, we don't went over that already. So let me just pop the unit. We don't pass now. Good. So you see this red button right there? See it? Left, on your left. Over here. Just to the bottom of the button, I say find F-I-N-D. That red button, you just put your thumb finger on it. Don't press it yet. You have it? Good. So let's press the unit on so we can see if everybody battery was installed properly. One press and let it go. Don't show nothing else because I don't want to change the language because I don't come up with to choose which language you're supposed to put it in. So just see here, just press it once. And your battery is wrong. See, we're going to see who battery is wrong. So this one right here, who the battery is wrong. Just let's get the first screen, don't show nothing else. You good? I'm going to check it. So on the first screen, you should see the language selection. Just hold right here. You're going to see the language selection. So we're going to choose which language you want to do. You want that? Good, there you go. Alright. No? You good? Alright, so this part is what I call the scoring part. You score up, down, left, and right. So press down, type down to see what different type of language it is, and press up. Just down. Just press the down button. Just press on and down. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, just press that. So you see different languages inside here. Whichever language you speak, you become without understanding, you choose a language. Just fill it out. So we have that. So we are going to go back to English. Once you done that, just go back on English, but that's the language you're going to select. So we loaded up the GPS now. Okay? Amen? Okay, go back on English. Everybody on English? Everybody there? Okay, press the enter button now. So you make a sound thing and then start to load. Okay? Go in America. So, with the GPS, I'm going to tell you that it's a step here where it takes 24 satellites to run a GPS, but actually get power up or load up for you to show a position, you need 4. Right? So if you're outside, you work better. In other you feel you could pick up 4, then you're going to start don't worry, you're going to see more from America just now. And you want anything on it? Good.
Thank you for tuning in to this edition of SKNIS's Week in Review. I am a presenter, Mr. Tian Coggins. Please stay safe.